Hey guys, this is Amy with Pretty Presets, and I noticed a thread in the group this morning talking about Enchanted Garden, the new preset collection that we have. And this collection has, sparked a lot of conversation because for some people, they aren't able to get the colors and the look that you see in the sample edits that are shown, and I know that we've done a couple videos on how to use the preset collection because there are some of these, the white balance fixes over here, and how to go in and change that white balance uh, for your pictures, and which really do make a huge difference. So what I wanted to show you this morning was some straight out of the camera photos of mine that are not exposed properly and some that are exposed properly, and the difference that the presets make depending on what comes straight out of your camera, because that really is key, and that is key in any photo that you take with any preset that you apply. If you are not mastering your exposure triangle in your camera, if you're not getting properly exposed photos in camera, you're going to have a problem applying presets and expecting them to be one-click edits, or being, really quick to edit your pictures with, because you're not getting it right in camera. That usually is going to be the first thing that you have to work on, is getting that right in camera. So if you're not getting it right in camera, like this picture right here, this was a senior session that I did. The sun was like right up over here. We had just a lot of haze, a lot of light. It was just kind of crazy. And so I wasn't standing in the right spot that I needed to be. There's some trees up over here where if I stand in just the right spot, I can get it to where I don't have all this extra light showing on her. And I wasn't in the right spot. And so I came home and I was like, oh my gosh, I've got all these photos that are, they're not properly exposed in camera. So if I go over here and I click on Pretty Spring, that doesn't look so good, does it? Gardenia, not so good. See all these oranges and yellows, and it doesn't look so good. Daffodil, which I love, that doesn't look so good. It doesn't look good, especially in the greens. Let's see, Sweet Cream. None of these are really going to look very good. Even if I go down here and I click on one of the white balance fixes, that's going to help fix the greens, but then she's still blown out. So I could go over here and I could adjust this here, which is what I was able to do on a couple of these to recover them. But if you don't know how to go over here and use the hand edits, then you're not going to be able to use any of your presets to balance everything out. That's why it's so important to understand how to use these sliders and what to adjust if you're not getting the exact look that you want from the presets, because you can't just apply a preset and expect it to make the picture look perfect for you. Sometimes that does happen, and when it does, it's great because it saves you so much time and it's wonderful. But a lot of times, if you're like, I've had my business for 6 years now, and I have a certain look and I know what look I want, and there are several presets that are like my go-to. I know that I can click on them and they're, one-click presets, and it's great. But if it's not one click, then I know that I can click on it and then come over here. Like Pretty Onyx is one that I love, but I click on it, I come over here, I move a couple things around, and I'm done. So that's what you've got to really learn with your presets, is what adjustments need to be made if you're not getting the look that you want. So here is another one that I'll just crop her in a little bit. So we've got her cropped in. Again, she's overexposed. So, we could put any of the presets. If we look at them over here, a lot of them look kind of orange. So, whoa, super orange. Look at her hair. So if we go to put a white balance fix on it, Let's see if that does much. We can't really tell what it does because it's so overexposed. Then we go over here and, we can take that down. We can, do this. But because the picture was overexposed, see how she's got these highlight parts up here? This isn't a photo that I would, put the time into trying to save because it's got these highlights here that I think are I just don't really like. I mean, even if I bring my highlights all the way down, she still looks orange. A lot of that is because I didn't get it right in camera. So let me show you a picture that is properly exposed. We'll bring this down a little bit too. This is a properly exposed photo, okay? So I haven't done anything to any of these pictures. So see how even if I still click on some of these, they're still orange, right? I click on that, she's like crazy orange. Crazy, crazy orange. And she looks, this is all yellow in here. She's orange. It's just not a good look for her. Even if I click on this, she's still orange. But I'm going to leave Lily of the Valley here, but I'm going to come down here and I'm going to click on this white balance fix. Wow, look at that. Now I really like that. I like the greens. I like how she looks in that. So then I would just come over here and I would probably just raise my contrast a bit because that's how I like my photos. I would raise the clarity just a tiny little bit. I would lower the highlights just a bit. And I would take my Skin Smooth brush if I was doing like a full edit on her. And I would just, quickly go through, don't go over the lips, go through here, and I would click on Eye Sharpen, make my brush smaller, go over that real quick, and I'm done. So see the difference between what happened when I didn't click on the white balance fix. So these right down here, these are huge. These are very, very important to click on. Let's see what happens with her. Okay, so again, this is straight out of camera. This is a properly exposed photo that we want to work with. So let's try Daffodil. There's a little bit of orange there. And she's a redhead, so the coloring sometimes I always find it a little bit harder. There she's totally red or totally orange, which we don't want. She's still orange there. A little less orange there. So a lot of times I'll just go through each one and see what I like the best. Peacock, did I do that? I do love Peacock. But a lot of these are giving her kind of that orange look. There I feel like her face is just, it's too bland. There was one up here that I like. Let's go with Gardenia or with Flora on this. And I still want to fix that white balance a little bit. So if we go in and kind of play with it a little, I'm going to actually reset it. And I'm going to go with this instead because I like the warmth of that one more. I don't think that we needed to do, okay, that white balance I feel is still just a little bit cool, but this other one was even more cool. So we're going to keep it here at this one. And I just clicked on the white balance temp warmth here. And so then I'm going to come over here. And again, like I said, this is just my typical editing style. So I just up the contrast, the clarity just a little bit. And for this one, I would go down here and just increase the sharpening a little bit. And this, and this, and bam. So I'd be done. So see the difference it makes when you've got a properly exposed photo that you're starting with versus a photo that is not properly exposed when you start. Okay, here is another one from a wedding that I did. Nothing has been done to this beforehand, so let's just start with a couple. I like that. I feel like it needs a little bit more warmth to it. So we'll add that. And then I'm just going to bring my highlights down. And I'm going to bring my whites down just a little bit. And I'm going to increase my contrast. And right here. And it's telling me that something is. So if those are totally blown out, which I tend to do a lot, then we're just going to run this over everything. And how about it now? That's fine. Close it up. Now let's look at the before and after. See, that was pretty easy, okay? So the key to these is really utilizing these and then knowing how to come back over here and make just a few adjustments if you need to. Sometimes you won't really need to, but when you do, know how to use these sliders in order to make those little tiny adjustments that you need to. But the key is starting out with a photo that is properly exposed in camera. And that is for any preset collection that you ever use. It's for any editing you ever do. The key is always going to be starting out with a photo that is properly exposed. So hopefully this helped you a little bit, just knowing that, people, as professional photographers that have been doing this for years, if you, start out with a photo that may be on the orange side, that's why you go through and you apply something in this group right here. These are key. So you can click on one of these and that right there will correct your white balance. So anyways, hope that you have learned something a little bit new today and you will go off and be able to enjoy your Enchanted Garden presets a little bit more now. Have a great day and go out and create something pretty.